When I think of change, change is the buzzword these days. The whole purpose of writing this book, the whole idea came after I got to hear that Snapdeal fired 1,800 employees some 6 months back. I was shaken. I empathized with those guys. I kept myself in their shoes and felt how devastating it would be that next day you come to work and realize that you are no more working. So I thought of writing a manual based on my own experiences, because I have had more than fair share of change. Many times it was self-imposed. So I thought that I could be the right person to tell people that what to do and what not to do if you are struck with change when it is least expected. I have been fortunate enough to invite support system in such a manner that the change doesn't scare me anymore. The quantum of change doesn't impact the quality of my life. Change is taking place all over. This room is illuminated with the light. Some movement of some energy happening to the bulb, which is causing that illumination. My voice is getting transmitted to your eardrum and hitting it. There is some movement as well. Although you have put your phone on silent mode, but the applications are constantly transacting with the virtual world, isn't? The blood is circulating into our body. Our heart is pumping. So when I think about change, I think about life. Let's go a level deeper. You might have heard of the term apoptosis. You'll be surprised to know that every day 50 million cells are destroyed in our body and they are replaced with new ones due to the process of apoptosis. So, as a result, our external outlook does not change, but our internal system is enormously transformed every 24 hours. The process of change is not only taking in living organisms. Change is taking place in every object of the universe. So magnet is a non-living object, but when you put them together, some kind of action is happening. It's either attracting or repelling. So some change is taking place even in a magnet. So the change, this movement of energy, this exchange of information is driving the world. The moment this transaction stops, our life begins to end. That's the reason I say change means life. The most fundamental function of this universe is change. All this brings down to the question, that's something which is so fundamental to this universe. Why do we struggle to manage with it? We are going to discuss that in detail. But before that, I want to know, is change really bad? No? Many times we look forward to it, don't we? Imagine that you are being served the same food for 7 consecutive days. You would look up to your spouse and what would you say? I want a change. You've been working in the same company for 7 years. And at a social function, you get to see a friend of yours. He asks you, what's up? How's life? And what do you say? It's been a long time. I want a... Exactly. So change is something what we look forward to on many occasions. Change is not something we resist. We have problem with change only when it does not fit into the positive frame of our conditioned mind. Our mind tells that this is a good change, that is a bad change. As long as it's a good change, it's welcomed. If it doesn't fit into the brain's definition of good change, it's not welcome. And how do we define what's good change and what's bad change? Because our brain has been conditioned since our birth. We have received conditioning in the family. We have got religious conditioning. We have got occupational conditioning, academic conditioning, professional conditioning, geographical conditioning. As a result, we have started to define that certain kind of things happens to you. Your life is going to be nice and cool and it should be welcomed. Those we define as good change. When you get a new job, we've been trained to believe that people will come up to you, you should smile, feel good about it. It's a reason to celebrate. On the contrary, we have been told that if somebody passes away in the family, if we lose our near and dear ones, that's not welcome. We have been trained to believe that if you are met with an accident, you should feel sorry about yourself. That's exactly what happens to us. So the problem is not with change, but the way we perceive it. Most of the time we are hit by change when we least expect it, and we don't know how to manage. Over a period of time, I have learned a tool to attract the support from the universe that helps me go along with change gracefully. And the first thing what comes to mind is to embrace it. If you resist it, you are going to be stressed. When you wholeheartedly accept the change, half of the problem is over. The job is done. You are in better position to evaluate the situation. After that, if the change is not as per your desire, then you have to ask yourself, can you make a difference? Can you change your circumstances? Does it fall under your circle of influence? If yes, then take the necessary action. There could be times that you cannot make a difference to the situation, but somebody else can. It could be a friend, a relative, a coach, doctor, therapist, professional, chartered accountant. If any of them can do it and you know them, get in touch with them and seek their help. They will be more than willing to do that. Most of the time, we keep our stress to ourselves. I feel it's wonderful to share your stress with others. You feel relieved and you get support from unexpected quarters. Now, there could be things which is beyond anybody's control. What to do in such a case? Like death. All of us are scared of it. What will happen? That's going to happen whether you like it or not. That's going to happen when you do not expect it at all. So how are you going to manage it? You can get ready for it. If you are scared of death, the first thing what you should do after you are out of this room, that buy a term insurance policy. Trust me, when you are in absolute alignment with the universe, your life is going to be delightful. Thank you. It was a pleasure being here, and thank you for your patient hearing.